This summer solstice brings the launch of Synchronicity University. So excited about finally presenting you guys with a free, online, fully accessible data bank of astrology classes. You can watch lessons right now at synchronicityuniversity.com and of course my YouTube channel, nadiyashah.com. Hello, fabulous Sagittarius. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of August 2015, General Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This month begins with a full moon. Actually, the full moon happens just before the month begins. It's the energy we're carrying into this month. You add to this in the first few days of the month, we've got a difficult conversation taking place between Saturn and Jupiter. I look at this, and this full moon, along with Saturn speaking with your ruling planet, says to me that you are having a difficult conversation. There is something that you need to address, and you need to address it head on. You need to address it directly. You need to address it one-on-one. And I actually see you sitting across from another person, asking difficult questions, having the difficult conversation, but also asking yourself some difficult questions as well. There is a real sense right now of you wanting to understand, especially on a level of mind. But here's the thing, there are some things that just come down to differences of opinions, of lifestyle, of phases of life, and of where a certain person is, not necessarily having anything to do with the merits of one way of being or another. And so you are going to have to be aware of this, because it does look like, as I said, difficult conversation. You may or may not find that happy middle point. You may or may not find that balance. It looks overall like you are going to be having to consider different ways of perceiving a situation. And you may also, I will be very honest with you, you may also have to be dealing with or have to have somebody challenge you on a level of your guiding truths, if you will. So something that you think is awesome, something you think is absolutely the way that it should be, you might even be excited, enthusiastic about, here comes somebody ready to throw a wet blanket over it. If that is the case, ultimately your power is going to come in connecting to what is right for you and what is true for you. That is always the case. For you as a Sag, it is always the case that you need to connect with what it is ultimately that is true for you and live according to that truth, instead of necessarily seeking to find bridges or find a way to make another way of looking be the right way or the only way. There is a truth, but there are many truths also that are relative. And this may very well be one of those situations. It might be, it could be that this is a cousin or a sibling or a neighbor who is in some way involved in this, whether it's situation or actually the conversation as well. But regardless, you only need to be present with yourself, and you only need to find a way to communicate what is true for you and not take on anyone else's judgments. So this is just in the very early part of the month, and it will very quickly pass. And there are a lot of, to be honest, there are a lot of Sagittarius out there who are not really going to experience this energy all that much. If you were born the later you were born in your sign, the more you are likely to experience this energy. But all Sagittarius out there will be exploring their lives through some of the questions that are going to be raised early this month. But very quickly the energy changes, and I absolutely love where the energy goes, and that is towards a new moon, smack dab in the middle of the month. This new moon is happening in your element, not only in terms of the actual element, fellow fire sign Leo, but in a part of the sky that is what astrologers call your home. It's your house. It is your home in the sky. So it's a part of life that feels a natural fit for you. So not only energetically in terms of accessing your element, but also in terms of the areas of interest that are awakened now, you will find a way to bring forward parts of yourself that feel like this is what I should be thinking about all along. This is what I should be exploring. This is the direction that I want my life to move and I want my life to go. That's going to be part of the theme that overrides what's happening in the middle of the month. Some Sagittarius out there might actually be moving or will travel in some way. So either you're traveling across to the other border, if you will, the other coast of your country, or you're taking a plane and you're going to another country. So this is long distance travel that is highlighted right now, that seems to be very spontaneous, that seems to be very inspired, and seems in some key ways to be inspired by or motivated by love. So it is love that is part of what has you going to distant lands, if you will, in some way. So in some way you're ready to take on an adventure, and it's very possible that the possibility of love, or actually the person that you're with, is a part of the package, if you will. And I'll talk about this a little bit more in the love-focused horoscope. As we get towards the later part of the month, your focus does change and it becomes a lot about home. What is home for you, and what do you need to feel at home as well? So there's a sense as we approach the end of the month that you want a home that is more ideal in some way, but you're going to have to make some adjustments. So it does look like, whether it's that you're trying to redecorate, whether it is that you're trying to move, while there is that motivation and there is that desire to experience something that's a little bit different, and to experience something that feels like a natural fit, you might actually have to make a few adjustments before you actually get there. For a small percentage of Scorpios out there, a very small percentage, I do want to say what's taking place with this can represent some issues around water in the house. So just be mindful of that, okay? Just make sure, have a quick look through so that doesn't have to manifest that way. As you look under the sink is all I'm saying. Just look under the sink. Make sure all is well there. And especially if you're thinking about buying or selling, well, selling, be honest, be ethical always. But especially if you're looking at moving in any way, make sure you open those cupboards and look at what's happening actually at the level of the pipes. That is going to be a part of this. However, having said that, it looks like there's a dream home, a dream environment, a dream renovation, a dream decoration that you want. And at the same time, you're going to have to find ways to be clever, to be smart, to negotiate a little bit, to figure out how it is that it's going to come together, and if this is something that you actually truly do want. So a little bit of adjustments taking place, but all in all, moving in a very positive direction at that. All in all, when I look at this month for you, there's an overriding lesson here. And it has to do with really finding your place in yourself, in your body, but also in the world as well. And tapping into something that makes you happy. Tapping into a sense of enthusiasm. The questions you ask at the beginning of the month provide an important springboard for you to understand your justification and your right to pursue a life that resonates as right for you, to pursue a life that is in alignment with whatever it is that you value, wherever it is that you ultimately want to go, literally and figuratively. And if you have decided on a path that feels right for you, the universe will find a way to have all kinds of things come together so that you live it beautifully.